Simon Logan up next. Enjoy the rest of
BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East.
McElderry, before he set off on his 37-date Northern Light Tour, which brings him to the North East soon, he was appearing in Joseph the Musical. That was the last time, I think, that we spoke, wasn't
just
it?
before it, or in the middle of it, was it?
Yeah, well, not actually in the middle of the show, but
well, yeah. In the middle of the tour.
He came in with loincloth. How was that for you? Because obviously, you know, you do just have to basically strip off on stage every night, don't you?
It was wonderful. Not the stripping off on stage, but the show was great, and I had a great time. But being in a loincloth every night certainly takes a bit of getting used to in front of all those people.
Were you a bit conspicuous at first of thinking, what if someone takes a picture of me here?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, well, I obviously knew that once the first couple of shows people would take pictures in the audience and stuff, but it's even just like, you know, sometimes you have them days where you think, oh, I don't feel great.
But as soon as you get on the stage, Joe, it's Dr. Footlights.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have to put your poker face on and get on with it.
So you did that for Joseph for how long?
We did January to the end of July or August, I think.
Quite a long run.
It was long.
Will you do it again?
Yeah, I'm doing...
Oh, you are doing it again?
Yeah, I'm doing the 50th anniversary tour next year, starting in January again, and going right the way through till July. So it's a...
Well, you must have loved it then.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't think I would have enjoyed it as much as I did, actually, and it was... I think that was the pleasant surprise with it. When you go into something and think, I thought it was going to be really hard and quite gruelling, because of the schedule of it all, and because I'd never done musical theatre before on a long-term basis. I thought, oh God, what's it going to be like? But I had a blast. I literally had so much fun. This
year really has been a year, I think, of lots of new stuff for you. You know, there was Tommy as well that you did, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Joseph, we just spoken about. You're doing lots of new things at the moment. You like to keep busy, right?
Well, I just think it's important to not just get stuck in a rut, you know, not just keep churning out the same thing every year, you know, and it's important as well. Like, I find doing different projects and things that push you outside of your comfort zone also has a massive effect on my live solo performances, because I learn new styles of performance, which makes the shows better and stronger. It makes me vocal stronger. So it's all a learning curve, you know.
When you come off stage, right, and I know you. Joe puts his heart and soul into every performance. You come off stage. What's the difference in your mind between what's been a great show and a normal show?
Well, I try, and I'm very critical. I am very critical, so I'll come off and I'll analyse things that I did in the show and stuff and be like, that was a bit, wasn't keen on that. I did that note a bit wrong, or I sounded a bit croaky tonight. But then people who probably watch the show wouldn't notice them things, because I pick up on things that people probably wouldn't even notice.
You're a pro, darling.
Well, I try.
You're a pro.
I try.
See the train pro.
But I don't know. I think that the hardest thing is when you're not feeling 100%. You know, and you're trying to give 100%, but maybe you only have 50% that you've got of because you're unwell or whatever. That's the hardest thing. And I come off and I'm like, damn, like why? You know, I hate not feeling well enough to do a show.
But you're not a robot, man.
I know, but it's hard. People have paid exactly the same money every night, so you can't. You know, it's hard trying to I suppose put that to bed when you know that you're not feeling great.
I know you're doing some lots of gigs actually. Alec Playhouse, I think 11th and 12th, which will be here before we know it in a few days' time.
Yes, Friday and Saturday this week.
Then you're moving to the Blythe Phoenix. That's on the 18th and 19th. Yes. There's an audience with as well, isn't there?
Yeah, we're doing a special. We're doing a very special, like, exclusive gig, which is that's like one of the smallest shows I've done. Special afternoon tea in South Shields not this Sunday coming.
Where are you doing it, Joe?
It's at the Little Haven Hotel.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and we have a very special room there, and it's going to be stripped back, me and a piano. Tiny show, very limited tickets, but there's not many left. There's a few left. You can get them on joemckelderryofficial.com on the merchandise store, which will be fun.
I can't have you on, and you know you'll expect this during the latest series of X Factor, which is rolling on at the moment like a wounded horse, some would say. But I can't have you on without asking, who do you think will win? And I've got now this interesting, right?
Right.
I didn't watch it last year because it was rubbish, but I've been watching it this year.
And
so, what's it say on the envelope?
It says Simon's prediction.
Right. So I want to see whether my prediction will match yours. Question is, right, who do you think will win this year's X Factor? So hold the envelope and then...
What, am I allowed to look at this?
No, not until you give me your answer.
All right, okay. Well, I would say... I would like to think that the best singer will win. But at the minute...
And who's the best singer?
Well, I think it's probably between Sarah Alto and McElderry. That's who I would say.
Open the envelope.
But I have a feeling Honey G.
Oh, God.
Well, the way people are going on at the minute... Yeah, but the way people are going on at the minute about blooming Honey G.
I know, I say honey, you say G.
I say no.
I say no. I'd rather have the honey monster.
I mean, she's very entertaining.
Now, what's it say? What's Simon's prediction?
You say McElderry or 5 After Midnight.
So there we go. So we.
I haven't. Do you know? I have to be honest. I haven't seen any of their performances actually. 5 After Midnight.
Oh, you love them. They're brilliant.
Are they good?
Yeah, very good. Just like Honey. What's her name again?
Honey Chi.
Honey Chi. People, when she first appeared, bless her, said it was David Cameron in a wig and glasses. Didn't they? Didn't they?
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
I know. Right, I'm going to play. I'm going to play one of your songs. We'll talk some more. Is that all right?
Yeah, play it. What are you playing?
Well, normally we play The Climb, and I thought, no, I'm not going to play The Climb this time.
Recently, this
yes.
On this tour.
Nothing wrong with The Climb. Then sometimes we've played Dance with Your Father, which I love, but it's a bit slow. So I'm going for Ambitions.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Back with Joe McElderry on the show next here at BBC Newcastle, Radio for the North East. 17 minutes past 2.
It is. I mean, the thing is I hear them all the time. I sing them all on the road.
Sorry, yeah. I forgot it was you.
It's like I hear them all the time.
I'm sick to death of them all.
No, actually, I rarely get sick of any of the songs. Because I always made a pact.
You said rarely, not really.
Well, not really.
Rarely.
Because I made a pact in the beginning that I would never record anything that I didn't like for that very reason. You never know how many times you're going to have to sing it.
Your voice high on that one, isn't it?
Falsetto.
Can you still get that falsetto?
Well, it's funny because my range has actually changed since then, so I can actually sing that song. It used to just be falsetto, but then when I did Pop Star Opera Star, my range kind of changed.
Right.
And I can sing a lot of that like full voice now instead of falsetto.
It's proper on Bee Gees, isn't it?
Yeah. It took a long time to record that. I've never sung like that previous to that song.
It's a great song. It's a great song. I haven't heard it for a while, so thanks for letting me play it. Being on the road, as you are, and we've been talking about this for a considerable amount of time, what with everything you've been doing, what do you do to keep yourself occupied in the quiet times?
There's not really a lot of quiet time, to be honest, because most days we're travelling, and then you sound check and or rehearse, and then we do meet and greets before the show, and then you go out a stage show afterwards. So the only time that really is kind of chilled is once we get back from a show on a night, and then I'm so tired I go to bed. And the daytime when you're travelling, but most of the time I'm doing interviews or chatting and sorting out show things. It's one of them things at a tour. It's like being on a treadmill the whole time. There's not really a lot of time to switch off, but I kind of enjoy that. I get really bored easily, so it doesn't bother me too much. But it's quite physically draining and mentally.
You're always on your phone, aren't you?
Yes. Twitter, Instagram, all of that, you know.
Do you do it all yourself, or do you have people that do it?
No, I do it. I do a lot of my tweets and Instagrams and everything. I mean, people do all the website things and online stuff, but I do all my own tweets and Instagrams and Snapchats. And
when you're travelling around, what's your favourite service station?
Weatherby.
Oh yes, you can't beat Weatherby.
No, it's really sad, you know. It's really sad.
I can't remember Weatherby.
It's really sad because I do remember places by service stations now because I've spent so much time on the road over the past couple of years, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the services with the really nice coffee in it, and all I want is healthy food, and a lot of services don't do that, so I always remember them by like there's this one down near Western Supermare, and they do like this organic cafe, and they do like proper home cooked food. Like, you know, like fresh salads, and you can help yourself.
Proper stuff, yeah.
It's like the poshest services in England.
Does it do your green tea for you?
They do green tea and proper lattes, and it's just, you know, it's the simple things.
What do you always take on tour with you, apart from the stuff you need for the show?
Coffee, candles. I like candles in the dressing room. I'll take exercise stuff. Sometimes take weights and things to take in the dressing rooms. Nothing else really.
Have you got any pets?
No pets. Everyone, all my family are allergic, and a lot of my family come out on the road and spend
What,
a bit of time.
to cats and dogs and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much any animal with hair.
Oh dear.
I'm the only person in my family that's not allergic, so I would love a dog, but I can't have one.
Can't have a terrapin maybe, or a goldfish. Perhaps
Yeah, I
could
did
rock
have,
up for Christmas.
I had a rabbit for a while, but I couldn't take that on the road, so one of my friends ended up having to take
We are
that.
talking about an animal, aren't we?
Yeah, yes. Oh my god.
Oh no! No! The service station you've stopped at, right? This is the last question about service stations,
Right.
promise. Right? 2:45 a.m. Tuesday morning, you've stopped at a service station. Picture the scene, Joe McElderry.
Right.
And you've gone in there, they've only got the following, and you're absolutely starving. They've got a meat pasty, just nudging its sell by date, or a tuna sandwich that's been well prodded. Which do you choose to eat?
Probably meat pasty. Like a Greggs. You can't beat a Greggs, can you?
Even if it's been well prodded, though.
I thought that was the tuna sandwich.
Oh no, I think it was that one too. so you have the meat. You'll have the bit of meat.
Yeah.
You. This interview is slowly going downhill. It all started so well. You go from the acoustic tour.
Yes.
We mentioned before these dates coming up in Alnwick and Blythe.
And Newcastle.
And
I'm doing a
Newcastle.
Christmas show in Newcastle on the last weekend of November. At the Town Theatre. Yeah.
How do you choose what to sing? Let's say for the Christmas one, are you doing carols or do
Well, I
people?
did a Christmas album.
Yeah.
A few years ago, so we kind of interlink a lot of that. But I think with this year, we're going to kind of do a few different Christmas songs as well. Because I've done a few Christmas concerts.
So which ones are the sort of standards that you've done before?
Well, I recorded on my Christmas album like Last Christmas, Oh Holy Night, When a Child is Born, Mary's Boy Child.
It's When a Child is Born, my favourite.
Yeah, it's my favourite song. Why don't you come and do that in the show?
That would. I'll do it at the end to empty the place for you,
Alright,
Joe.
okay.
Okay.
You can clear it
Please
out.
welcome Simon Logan. Oh, it'll be terrible.
But yeah, we're trying to, we're trying to mix things up and make it different. But it's also, it has a lot of my solo material in. And this show, the whole tour actually, there's a lot of new material that I've never performed before as well, and some new songs, and it's quite a different show from what I've done before.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I look forward to it. What about reality TV? I mean, you've done a fair few of those. You mentioned Pop Star to Opera Star before. Do they still come knocking, will you come in the jungle and eat some insects for us?
I've never been asked to do the jungle.
You'd be great in the jungle.
Yeah, I've never been asked to do that, I don't think. There's always conversations about these things, they always kind of come up and people ask for availability and schedules and would you be interested, and then you never hear anything, then you do, then sometimes you get right through a conversation and then something else comes in that, it's all boringly complicated, but there is always conversations, and I've been asked to do some pretty crazy reality TV shows, but it has to be right.
What's the daftest thing you've ever been asked to do?
I think I was once asked to be part of like some horse racing show. Like a horse. I don't think it ever came on television, but I got asked for my availability. I'm sure I did.
Was it to
like a horse jockey?
To learn how to be a jockey?
I think so. I mean, I'm small enough in height, so it would make sense. But it wasn't my cup of tea, I have to be honest.
Take some sugar lumps with you.
Yeah,
and you've got a friend for life who might be allergic to the horse, though, might you? Your family might not be able to get near it.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know how I'd fancy that, but I'm sure there was a conversation about that.
And in your personal life, you're happy? You're all loved up? You're happy? Do you have time for that nonsense?
I'm not loved up, but I'm happy.
Good.
I'm single and happy.
So, Alnwick Playhouse for Joe McElderry coming up Friday
and Saturday. Blythe the next Friday and Saturday.
Audience with?
Sunday the 20th.
That's in Shields, right?
Yes, and then I think it's Sunday the last Sunday of November. I think, is it the 27th?
27th of November.
Yes, we're at the Town Theatre at Newcastle with the Christmas show.
And that's the Christmas show.
Yes.
Then you're going to do a pantomime, aren't you? I think somewhere down south or something.
In Wolverhampton.
You never stop, do you? Never stop. You'll be ready for another holiday.
And I don't get another holiday until next summer, though, so I've got to forget about that for a while.
Wasn't there a funny story about you were on holiday, I think, this year, and you were in Las Vegas?
Yes.
And Weren't you recognised in Las Vegas? Because you'd expect to be recognised, I don't know, in Sunderland or Durham or South Shields. Weren't you recognised in Vegas?
Well, yeah, I mean, whenever I go abroad, I kind of forget that, you know, because I'm in a different country, you don't kind of think that people would know about X Factor and or would have seen it or anything. And I also always forget that there's going to be British people there on holiday. And me and my best friend were walking through the hotel we were staying in, and these two guys jumped out in front of us and like, oh my God, can I have a photograph? And I got a shock. Like,
it's quite scary, yeah?
Yeah, it was...
But you're not expecting it.
Yeah, but it was also quite funny, all of the Americans who have absolutely no idea who I am thinking, why are they asking this random person in the middle of a hotel with a pair of shorts and flip-flops on for a picture? I didn't really look like the glamorous, famous American person that would be strolling through a Las Vegas hotel.
Do you always give an autograph and a picture?
Yeah.
Even if a big crowd forms, you know, it can take... I've heard people say, well, once you give one, you know, a crowd forms, you can be there for hours doing them.
Yeah, but I think it's also... I agree with that, but it's better to be seen to at least try to, you know, it's difficult if there's a big crowd there to get around everybody and do it, but I think it's also awful if people watch you say no to one person. I think it looks terrible. I've never said, I mean, there's times sometimes it's physically not possible if you're literally racing out of a venue or something, or for a security reason.
Constraints, you've got to go somewhere.
But I always, if I can, I will. I would never, and even if I'm feeling awful or even if I look horrendous, I try and just be like, yeah, you know, or I'll say, can I sign something for you instead of a picture or whatever?
Yes.
I try and let them go away with a memory.
Some sort of compromise, some sort of memory. Good man. Don't ever change. Enjoy the gigs.
I will.
Nice to be back in the Northeast, I suppose, for a bit, isn't it?
It's the first time I've been back for a while, so it's nice.
Joe McElderry on the show. Cheers, Joe.
Thank you.